relatively early, squares his shoulders, and throws power punches. Marco Antonio Barrera is a conventional fighter, but by far his biggest weapon is the left hook, especially to the body.
And the Prince has got to come out of his trick bag and make Barrera try to be a showman as well.
Not just wading in, gets to the body, wobbles Naz with a left hook upstairs.
The one thing you don't want to get into is a slugging match with the Prince. But he allowed Barrera to taste his power just a little bit.
Barrera is not looking in.
Big left hand by Barrera.
His spots.
It's a very interesting choice of fight plans by Barrera, and he's making it work. And a couple of shots to the body. Naz hasn't done any real damage.
And that left hook that Barrera landed was a hurting left hook.
Round one is all Barrera as Prince Naseem takes several power shots.
The Prince has got a little whelp under the eye there. That may be a changing factor when the corner goes into the corner. It may not be able to give advice. You got to work on his eye.
And you can see the mouse under Naz's right eye, as George pointed it out.
Notice that Barrera, when they're in close, has his head, keeps his hands very high.
Barrera's got to make certain when he throws his shots that he's at home. Don't go lunging out there.
Shades of the Cesar Soto bout in Detroit as Barrera is either pulled down by Hamed or pushed. Coming into the ring. Hard left hand by Prince Naseem, countering Barrera inside.
The Prince is the aggressor.
Right hand and a left by Barrera.
Aggressor this early.
And Barrera countering him.
The big complaint is that he made him wait a long time in that dressing room. He's unsteady about it. He doesn't like it.
Two was fought at a slow pace. 35 punches thrown by Hamed, 31 by Barrera. That's why Emmanuel Stewart said perfect when he came back to the corner.
Said wait to counter. That could be good, could be very bad.
Is it out of respect for Naseem's power that Barrera is fighting the way he is?
I think, Jim, it's because they feel that Naseem is more effective as a counterpuncher rather than taking the lead. And they're testing him.
Go on and take advantage of it.
Blood on the nose of Marco Antonio Barrera, apparently from one of those left-hand shots by Naseem. Had no particular respect for Naseem's power. He's fighting as though he does.
When a guy's his neck up, why? What are you waiting on?
Pace which favors Prince Naseem, or at least seems to.
Two lefts and then a right. He hasn't found his rhythm yet.
Barrera lands a jab. Prince Naseem grins. Well, he's got enormous reflexes, and he's getting hit here, perhaps two. Harold, how do you have it through three?
Up to 129-28, Prince Naseem Hamed. He was just a bit left. Stay away from that left hand.
Big left hand by Barrera inside. Stuns Prince Naseem. Naz smiling, but there's no question he was hurt by that left.
I have it 2 rounds to 1 for Barrera.
That's for sure.
Nice jab. No, George, because the guy Barrera is a terrific fighter.
Barrera ringing the right hand shot to the body.
Big out clean. That shot.
Shooting the straight left down the middle. That's to do. Barrera goes to the body.
Every round, Barrera should send him to the corner hurt.
Scrupulous about staying away from the Prince's power that he doesn't follow up when he lands a good shot. In the last round, Barrera landed 9 power punches to only 4 for Prince Naseem with hard shots.
Barrera is starting to connect with a left jab.
As with a quick combination there.
Now it has become a chess game. The Prince knows that there's each other standing in the middle of the ring.
You see the difficulty of trying to get to Prince Naseem's body, although Barrera, big left hand by Prince Naseem.
You know, he was wood. He just stepped in with that left cross. That's what it was. Just got the reflexes of a cobra.
Generally speaking, featherweights average throwing about 60 punches per round. Your average run-of-the-mill club featherweight might throw 60 punches in a round. In this fight, by CompuBox numbers, Prince Naseem Hamed is behind. If this keeps going this way, you've lost your championship.
Like he's doing more damage to you, rather than saying, there you are.
But there it is.
Your head is too straight up.
The head was up. Barrera landed a right. As the head went into...
He was going to attack. You wonder whether the Prince has been thrown off.
Huge left hand by Barrera there.
Straight right hands, he lands the better.
He has confounded the experts. And
skilled fighter like Barrera.
Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim, I got it going back and forth. 57, 3 rounds apiece. When Marco Antonio Barrera opens up, he does real well. The rounds he loses, he just doesn't throw enough punches. He really should move his hands more, Jim. Those 3 rounds I got him losing were just because of inactivity.
All right.
That's what Barrera is doing. He's pacing himself.
Barrera with a right to the belly and a left upstairs.
That's what you want a solid fighter like Barrera doing. Clowning with a clown.
Big grins at him. Barrera says, come on. Come on. Right hand to the body again by Barrera. Nope.
He's going to have to climb it, bring it down, close to the chin.
He's thinking now.
Hamed picking up the pace with his jab, throwing it more frequently. Landing by Barrera.
Boy, he's throwing these sludge hair in the middle yet, but he's starting to pick up the power.
Royal knows with some royal blood.
Couple of left jabs onto the royal chin. Effective tactical fight. Limiting Prince Naseem's chances to get off with big shots and landing enough of his own to appear to take a lead on the scorecards.
The may have misinformed him that round. Now for the first time you see the Prince getting closer and closer to the ropes moving.
Barrera, jab.
Left hand partially blocked. One landed solidly. And a right to the body by Prince Naseem. Barrera came back low. My point.
Prince, when he doesn't have anything else, he's got power.
And he lands another left hand upstairs. Naz stalking and trying to land that left cross.
You just got to finish up, Prince. Counter punch, and get a knockdown.
But he's off balance, George.
Well, it's like a snake in a mongoose. 1, 2, 3, and he's in business.
1, 2, 3, 4 more rounds, and the Prince will be out of business if he doesn't change the course of this fight.
George, it appears that every time the Prince has a new tactic to try, Barrera has an answer for it.
He never tries throwing one combination, the Prince does. He comes back, he can do it. He's got to come back with some kind of punch. You see, one shot out. Now the Prince has got his rhythm going just a little bit.
Blood trickling from the right nostril of Barrera.
The corner's been doing a good job with Barrera of keeping the bleeding down.
Very professional. Left hook to the body by Marco Antonio Barrera.
Tracked Barrera. Fat chance.
Left hook upstairs by Barrera. As if to say, I'm not fooled by your antics.
Barrera is one tough cookie.
Doggone right. Big left hook by Barrera.
He is in against a complete, experienced, yet still in his prime professional fighter from a culture of professional fighters.
Harold, how do you have it through 9?
Okay, 6-3, 87-84, Marco Antonio Barrera. Jim, I think he's Marco Antonio Barrera really winning this fight the last 4 rounds.
He's thrown the left hand, but he hasn't thrown anything with it. He's missed it.
Believe him, if he can put together a combination as he just did, things can change, but he's going for one shot.
He can't. Barrera is countering him too well.
That's the way you stop the counter. Throw combinations.
He's not a combination puncher, George.
He's getting hit too frequently to get it done here. There's a big left hand. Barrera covering up.
Barrera's playing possum.
There's a hard right hand by Naseem. And Barrera comes back with 2 left-hand shots of his own. If Prince Naseem feels the urgency of this situation. Can you believe the odds on this fight were 3.5 to 1? Can you believe 28 out of 30 writers picked Hamed? Where was the respect for Marco Antonio Barrera?
Prince still going for 1 point at a time, 1 shot at a time.
The combinations have been thrown by Barrera. 10 rounds in the books. Try to rescue his unbeaten record and his superstar status. 6 minutes left for Marco Antonio Barrera. Hard right hand by Barrera. Stewart. Larry, what's up?
Emmanuel, do you believe that the Prince needs a knockout to win this fight?
Beyond a doubt, I definitely believe he needs a knockout, and I have told him as such. But see, I don't think he's ever been hurt in a fight, but when he gets hit, his head is up so to the point that it looks so bad to the crowd. I definitely feel that he's knocking out.
But is this the Barrera that you were concerned about, who you saw in his last fight and said this is a different fighter?
Yes, it is. A very determined, and he seems to be very focused and very well trained for Naz. Naz has got to try to land a big knockout punch, even at the risk of possibly being knocked out himself.
Thank you.
And in round 11, despite the scenario that Emmanuel Stewart just quoted to you, it is Marco Antonio Barrera who has been the aggressor. He's taking advantage of Naz's aggression to turn it against him.
Naz will not come back with any shot.
Huge right hand by Barrera.
Style that the Prince has developed since he was a boy is being exposed. There is, but not when he's running like that. Not when your fight plan becomes a flight plan.
Short left hand inside by Hamed, landed. The ropes, they're 3 minutes away from the conclusion.
Jim, I gotta tell you, he may have lost the 10th round with Barrera, but boy, he had a huge 11th round. So in the last 6 rounds, Marco's won 5 of them. And I tell you, I think the secret is he stayed away from the Prince's big power and he landed the better shots.
Look at the right hand by Barrera. He wants to close the show with authority.
His corner told him to just box, and he's not taking that advice. He's going for it.
He's been on the wrong side of at least one decision here in Las Vegas. He doesn't want it to happen again.
Is flying through the sky.
You just got to close strong.
Hold it, hold it, hold it. Okay, let's go.
Prince is trying to figure out how can he get in one big left hand.
He's been trying to figure that out all night.
I think Barrera has already shown with his chin, one left hand won't do it.
That's true. Too much chin.
Barrera pounds Naseem into the ring post, risking disqualification. Furious at Naz's antics.
Time out. 1 point. 1 point.
And a point deduction from Barrera.
1 point.
Barrera wants to hit. Big left hook by Barrera. Scintillating round for the Mexican star.
And he seems to be the stronger at that weight.
Prince Naseem Hamed told us and every writer who had listened before the fight that if he loses, it's because it has been written by Allah. The 12 rounds you've seen here suggest that Allah knows how to spell Barrera. B-A-R-R-E-R-A.
You should be cool on that.
His moment of truth has turned into an hour of torture.
Once again, he came back. He knew he had him at this point, so he wanted to intimidate him a little bit. So he slams into the buckle, the corner pad, to let him know that, yeah, I know I got you now. There's no sense in you thinking you can cower me out because you can't.
All right, macho to the max. Roy, as always, a pleasure working with you.
Barrera fighting an intelligent, measured fighter against an awkward fighter. Briefly dazed him early in the round. Later came on to land those view of the wrestling incident. There you see, on off balance, Hamed jumps into Barrera. Barrera holds him by the waist. In close, a right hand, then followed by a left to the nose by the Prince. It's very composed, Barrera.
That was a headbutt there.
All right, seconds out.
Right hand inside. Hamed may have won this round. Short left hand. Didn't get his... I play on the clinch will tell you that Hamed has found out he's in with a true professional. This is the jab, jab, double jab. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. The round right here. Barrera goes under a left.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the MGM Grand, we go to the scorecards. Dwayne Ford scores it 115 to 112. Choke Champa has it 116 to 111. And Patricia Jarman Manning scores it 115 to 112. All for the winner by unanimous decision, Marco Antonio Barrera.